What's up everyone, it's Hardware Geek. Today I'm gonna review the Asus ROG Zephyrus G14 2021, a very premium gaming laptop which can be used for entry-level gaming as well as for professional video editing and can be a really great MacBook Air M1 alternate. But before moving further, please subscribe to my channel as it really helps me to create useful content for you. And don't forget to press the bell icon so you won't miss any of my future videos. Now let's get into the review. For starters, it comes with the AMD Ryzen 7 5800HS CPU which is based on Zen 3 architecture. It also comes with the 8GB of DDR4 memory with a frequency of 3200 MHz, a NVIDIA GTX 1650 GPU with 4GB of VRAM, a 14-inch Full HD IPS display with 120Hz of refresh rate and a 512GB of NVMe PCI SSD. First and foremost, let's take a look at the appearance of this notebook. Thankfully, Asus is going after premium quality materials, such as the magnesium aluminum alloy used for the lid and the base. In terms of rigidity, we found some flex in the lid, but the base remained extremely stable. This is thanks to the honeycomb structure inside. By the way, this laptop stands at 19.9mm and has a weight of 1.6 kilos, which is full 200 grams lighter than last year. Honestly, we don't know how to feel about that, because we are expecting a significant improvement in the cooling. Nevertheless, let's move to the lid, which opens easily with a single hand. Its design bears the signature ROG logo on the bottom corner, while the half of the lid is cut with a dot matrix design. Quite frankly, the effect is very subtle, which is pretty good. Also, you get the ergo lift mechanism of the hinges that lifts the bottom panel from the ground, which is undoubtedly help with the better cooling and provides somewhat better ergonomics for typing. Speaking of typing, at the base you will find the great number padless keyboard. It has a long key travel, clicky feedback and a backlight. Unfortunately, the arrow keys are a bit smaller, unlike the ones on the ROG Strix SCAR 17. But on the bright side, there are 4 dedicated buttons for volumes and mic control, as well as shortcut buttons for the Armoury Crate. Plus, the power button doubles as a fingerprint reader. Then there is the touchpad, which is simply enormous. It has a glass cover and works great with the fast display. Also, despite its lack of dedicated buttons, we are glad that more and more laptops are coming with the larger touchpad than we are used to on a Windows notebook, especially in the gaming industry. Now, when it comes to speakers, here you get total of 6. 2 of them are surrounding the keyboard, while the other 4 are positioned in pairs beneath the palm rest area, facing opposite direction in order to minimize vibrations. Pretty smart. And talking about the sound quality, it is really amazing. Naturally, the cool air is drawn from below the device, while the heat is dissipated from the 4 vents, 2 on the back and 1 on each side. The cooling solution comprises 3 heat pipes shared between the GPU and the CPU, with 1 more dedicated to each of them. Also, there is 1 additional heat pipe that takes care of the graphic memory and the VRMs. Keep in mind that Asus has supplied the notebook with a total of 4 heat spreaders as well as 2 fans. Coming to the ports. On the left hand side of this notebook, you will find the power plug followed by a HDMI 2.0B connector, a USB Type-C 3.2 Gen 2 port with DisplayPort, power delivery and G-Sync support, and an audio jack. On the right hand side, there are 2 USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A port and USB Type-C 3.2. Now, display quality. Asus ROG Zephyrus G14's IPS panel has a Full HD resolution, 120Hz of refresh rate paired with very quick pixel response time, good contrast ratio and comfortable viewing angles. Also, it doesn't flicker at any brightness level. It covers 100% of sRGB color space and spreads almost fully to DCI P3 gamut, which results in a very rich image. Also, the color accuracy is really great, especially in gaming and color grading. Moving to the CPU. This laptop comes with the latest Ryzen 7 5800HS. That is the lower 35W TDP variant of 5800H. It has 8 cores and 16 threads and have a base clock of 3.6 GHz with a turbo of 4.4 and is based on the Zen 3 architecture. So let's get into some benchmarks, and we will start with the Cinebench R20 multi-core score. You are not going to sit to our top of the chart unless you have 8 core design, and with IPC benefits that Zen 3 brings, the 5800HS is able to sneak its way into the top position. In terms of generation-on-generation performance leap, the 5800HS is just 6% faster than the 4800H. But across the board, this allows Ryzen to extend its lead on Intel, with at least 26% advantage over the Core i9-10980HK. where Ryzen 5000 sees the bulk of its gain is in the single core score. The 5800HS is more substantial, 13% faster than 4800H, and is only 4% behind the Core i7-11370H, which is very negligible difference in real-world scenario. And comparing the 5800HS with the last gen flagship processor, the Core i9-10980HK, it totally crushes the i9 with 10% performance difference. The handbrake test takes 30 to 60 minutes to complete almost modern H series CPUs, and here the 5800HS is 2% lower than the 4800H on average due to the lower TDP. However, it is 18% faster than the Core i7-11370H and 15% faster than the 10980HK. Blender was the workload where we saw the smallest gen-on-gen gains for Zen 3. The 5800HS is fast and delivers good performance in this multi-thread workload, but the gains compared to the 4900HS are negligible. But compared to the Blue Team, the performance is quite improved. On the other hand, moving from 10th generation to 11th generation, Intel's multi-core performance is degraded quite a lot. Instead of having a gen-on-gen improvement, making them look like a just rebranded Intel's 9th gen CPUs. So from all these benchmarks, we learned that Ryzen 7 5800HS is a solid tune-up of AMD's H series mobile CPUs designed for performance notebooks. AMD identified a weakness with their previous design, single-thread performance, and took it to the mechanic to swap out the Zen 2 architecture for Zen 3. The results are great, giving the 5800HS the best performance offer in its class in the vast majority of workloads. Now moving to the gaming performance of GTX 1650. And for a gaming device, this laptop does very well. It chews through every game you throw at it, even at 1080p Ultra on some titles. And here are the results. Now we conduct the battery test with the Windows best performance setting turned on, screen brightness adjusted to 120 nits, and all other programs turned off except for the one we are testing the notebook with. This notebook has a 90 Wh battery pack, which lasts for 12 hours and 55 minutes of web browsing and 10 hours and 10 minutes of video playback. Now that is what we call a comeback. The brand new ROG Zephyrus G14 is a win in every department, especially when it's compared to the last gen Zephyrus G14. Moreover, what was special back then was the AMD processor inside, and now Asus uses AMD for almost all of their newly released gaming devices. So that's pretty much everything for the review, and in my next video I will do a side-by-side comparison of this Zephyrus G14 with the MacBook Air M1, which comes in the same price range, and this will help you to decide which is better for productivity like video editing, 3D rendering and coding. So if you don't wanna miss that comparison video, then just subscribe the channel and hit the notification bell to get notified. Thanks for watching, like and share the video, and if you have any doubt related to this as well as for other laptops, comment down below. See you in next video. Until then, goodbye.